Hello everyone, this is Simon, your host for the Modern Awakening Perspective, your map for the path to enlightenment. And let's get into today's current events and top stories. Number one on my list to mention is Michael Strahan, the co-host for Good Morning America, ex-football player and certified sellout. He's over here talking about basically trying to throw Trump under the bus with what he served the football players. And Strahan said he would serve these guys some lobster, which I'm not sure, if these guys even like lobster, but I'm pretty sure they like McDonald's. Anyway, it's his attempt to throw some shade at President Trump. And, as I said, this guy's a sellout. If you know anything about him and his recent gig as the co-host, he just had on a controversial guest on his show, I think 10 or 11-year-old boy who goes by the title Desmond is Amazing. This is a little drag queen, 11-year-old drugged out drag queen, which they're over there celebrating. He's just part of this agenda to ruin our culture and to destroy the lives of children. So it's not surprising to me that he came out and tried to disparage Trump and his efforts to feed the players who are visiting the White House. Maybe that's not the top story to some people, but to me, I just find that extremely, extremely crazy. It's just unbelievable. Let's get on to some real news that other people probably think is real news. Nancy Pelosi came out and said that she wants Trump to delay the State of the Union address. Now, why would that be, and for what reason? You think she's afraid of what he might say? I am. I'm pretty sure that they don't want him to get his message out. Thank God for Twitter. That way Trump can get his message out without it being filtered through the mainstream media. I follow him on Twitter. I suggest you should too. That way you can get words directly from him. Also, when it comes to the government shutdown, Trump has called back thousands of employees to get back to their job, especially the people who are going to do the tax return processing, so everyone can get their refunds and go ahead and stimulate the economy. I know a lot of people are looking forward to getting their refunds in a timely manner, and I'm sure he understands that as well. Also, there's some interesting appointments going on right now with some people that Trump's trying to literally drain the swamp with by putting in some good quality people, not some of the scandalous folks we've had in Washington, D.C. here in the near term. U.S. Attorney General William Barr is going through his confirmation hearing, and from all things I've seen, he seems to be a pretty legit character. I haven't dived too deep into his background, but I'm starting to trust the appointments that Trump is making. I think he is draining the swamp, and I'm pretty sure that the people he's appointing have all the right tools needed to keep things rolling in a positive direction. Also, speaking on that, some breaking news here from me, at least that I just ran across, was that he's appointing to the U.S. Court of Appeals a woman named Neomi Rao, and she'll be taking the place of Kavanaugh when the spot that he left, basically. And from what I just researched on her background, she seems to be right on with the message that I feel in my heart, and she's definitely not following mainstream protocol. She has her own opinions and is not afraid to voice them. And of course, because of that, all the liberal types are out there trying to slander her and for her opinions and trying to probably discredit her and keep her from being appointed. But from all the the quotes that they were speaking about, I think her opinions were right on. Makes perfect sense, very logical, very rational and reasonable. So, of course, they don't want any part of her. They want more swamp creatures in there. And then we have appointed to the EPA, Andrew Wheeler. I think he was acting as in charge, but now he's going to be appointed full-time. And they don't really like that because he's undoing Obama-era policies and regulations which were making things hard, unnecessarily. And one of his direct quotes is that climate change is overblown. And if you know anything about what's currently going on through multiple sources, not just hearsay, but that global warming is some BS, and basically we're going to be entering what they call a grand solar minimum. So clearly all this was propaganda, and I think it was designed to just take more money from people with carbon taxes and all these other things, just more ways to drain money from the taxpayers' pockets. And so I'm happy to see that this guy is going to be basically kind of going back the other direction and rolling back some of these policies which were designed to just take advantage of the citizens. I think he said that it would, I would not call it the greatest crisis, talking about climate change. That's because he knows that this global warming thing is a farce. And happy to see things are going back in the right direction, something more rational and reasonable. I'm mixing my words up there. Okay. Now some other things in the news here. There's another migrant caravan, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, and it seems that is over 2,000 strong now, being in Honduras at the moment, headed this direction. With the non-success of the last caravan, it makes you wonder why another one's formed so quickly. Do you think they're being paid to do this? I certainly do, and it makes it painfully obvious to me. Now, speaking of coming from the southern border, there's another story from that area about old guy El Chapo and his bribe to an ex-Mexican president. Basically, there was a bribe worth $100 million that he gave the ex-president there. Now, that's a ton of money. But that guy was obviously corrupt, and he wanted to make sure that the flow of drugs kept coming in here to our country so that more of our citizens can overdose and just live a crappy life, which is what all that type of drugs lead to. So it's about time people stop turning their heads and looking the other direction and start standing up for what's best for our country. And if that means a wall, then it means a wall. And I'm pretty sure that that's the only way to keep all those things from flooding into the country. Now, getting into the last piece of news here, which may interest some of you in the cryptocurrency realm, was the exchange Cryptopia supposedly had a hack where they lost about $2.5 million in losses. And now, to me, this is a little bit suspicious, considering we just had this movement called the Proof of Keys, which was designed for everybody to take their assets off of the exchanges so that they could stop doing this fractional reserve exchange system, which was basically keeping the cryptos from finding a real price, preventing real true price discovery. So people are wondering, is this a real hack or is this an exit scam? Because they know that their business model isn't long for this world. Either way, the bottom line is you need to protect yourself. You need to be your own bank and get your coins into your own hands. That's the whole point of this new system anyway, for you to be your own bank. All right, people, if you enjoy this content, please like, please subscribe, and also comment if you like what I'm saying or if you don't like what I'm saying. This is a place for discussion, and commenting, liking, subscribing will help YouTube put this message out in front of other people and help them find this channel. All right, thanks guys. See you next time.